And we're back with more Shinobi Striker. I wanted to take a break from builds after that little marathon I went on, so today I thought it'd be best to showcase what I think are the top 10 most effective jutsus in Naruto Shinobi Striker. And please, remember when I say effective, I don't just mean the best jutsus to get killed with, I mean the best jutsus that can help you objective-wise. We're not going to waste any time here, so let's get on with number 10. Flying Raijin level 1. Flying Raijin level 1 is honestly the better version of Sharingan. It can be used in many different kind of ways, but I think the best use for it is as a substitution. It can be used to get you out of any combos whenever you desire. This can be very handy in almost any mode. And even though I despise those who use this in flag battle, I'd be lying if I were to say it doesn't get the job done. Because it does. It also has a very small cooldown. Next up is Snake Thrust. Can we all agree with how much the meta has shifted in Season 2? Snake Thrust isn't even all that bad. And don't get me wrong, fuck defense types. I stand by that to this day, but Snake Thrust isn't even that bad compared to what we call meta in what is now Shinobi Strikers. Either way, Snake Thrust is a pretty good jutsu. If someone's attempting to take the scroll, Snake Thrust. If someone's capturing a base, Snake Thrust. If someone is trying to lift up a stake, well, I think you get it. On top of this, you can also receive health back. At number 8, we have Flame Control. This jutsu, if used at the right time, can be extremely effective in most game modes. When unleashing Flame Control, any enemy impacted by this takes damage over time. The great part about it is that it can target up to any amount of enemies in front of you. For most of the game modes, this jutsu, like I said, can be very effective. For example, in base battle, when the match first starts, almost everyone usually heads towards B. When it gets chaotic, cause it will, unleashing Flame Control at all your enemies gives your team the advantage in capturing the base. In barrier attack, if your enemies are defending the boss, shooting Flame Control at the boss not only targets him but splits up and also attacks your opponents. I won't go into detail about the other game modes cause I think you get the idea. The next jutsu is Kuruma Twin Impact. Now I know it seems weird how this isn't higher on the list, and honestly there's two reasons for that. One, it works just like Mei's Lava Style where you have to actually aim to hit, and two, it has a pretty long cooldown. But other than that, this ability is really overpowered. It guard breaks and disables substitution, making this one of the best setup jutsus in the game. This can easily work in many game modes. In combat, it's great for stopping an opponent who is trying to get the scroll, or if things are too crowded in base battle, this is a great jutsu to get things under control in your favor. Now we have Flame Lightning. This jutsu is really good to the point where it can sometimes be annoying to go up against. It's almost impossible to counter, and not only does it do impact damage, but it also damages over time. It's literally universal pull on steroids. I don't think I need to go into detail on why this would be effective in flag, barrier defense, or even base, because if you know how the jutsu works by now, which I'm sure you all do, well then it's self-explanatory. On the other hand, when it comes to combat though, this can be a good way to catch someone who is at low health running, or even again another way to pull your opponents out of collecting a scroll. And the last defense jutsu on this list goes to Demon Hunter, one of the biggest metas in the game. I hate to admit it, but Demon Hunter is really good for doing objective-based tasks, especially when it comes to barrier attack, because activating this jutsu allows you to take damage without flinching, and putting a technique like that on a defense type? Great idea, Salil. With this, you can easily take your opponent's flag, grants you the advantage in combat and base and even barrier attack. You can also use Demon Hunter as a way to use other techniques without being disrupted because, you know, you don't flinch. And for the last range jutsu, we have the Rinnegan, Heavenly Hand Power. I know you might be thinking,
hey yo, what the fuck?
But hear me out. This is easily one of the best objective-based jutsus. Got someone at B? Rinnegan. Got someone running away from you and your team because they're at low health? Rinnegan. Got someone trying to Chidori away with your flag? Rinnegan. I mean, guys, it has a 16-second cooldown for a reason. A longer cooldown than Mind Transfer Palm Sage. Trust me, it's an underrated jutsu that nobody likes to use. This jutsu is really effective. People just need to be more creative instead of running the same thing over and over again. For the remaining top 3 jutsus, these are all healer abilities. And starting off at 3, we have Water Pillar. And if you're a consistent Shinobi Striker player like myself, well, you already know what it is. The reason for this not being higher is because with the addition of Naruto, this jutsu has way too many counters to it now, to the point where it's not really that useful. The reason I put it up third though is because if there is a team that isn't running any abilities that can counter Water Pillar, this jutsu is overpowered. Use it on top of a stake to rather defend it or lift it, and it'll work all the time. Or the most known 1-2 combo everyone runs with this technique is Water Pillar then Mind Transfer Palm Sage. This combo can literally be used in any game mode and it'll still be overpowered. But remember, there are a lot of counters to this technique now where players are forced to stop running it as much. Second is Super Heavy Boulder Jutsu. With the new buff it got, where an enemy's secret technique gauge is reduced. It now easily makes it one of the most irritating and overpowered jutsus in the game. This ability, if timed right, can affect all players on the opposing team. game. Their entire movement speed, ninjutsu cooldown, and secret technique gauge are greatly slowed down. And with the boost it got for this patch, it's going to be one hell of a jutsu to run. And last but definitely not least is Mind Transfer Palm Sage Jutsu. I know some of you might honestly disagree with this selection, but you guys need to understand Shinobi Striker is a 4v4 objective based fighting game. It's not all about flashy jutsus and what jutsu kills so and so better. It's about capturing all the bases in base battle, or killing or defending the toad, and yeah, the point of combat is to kill your opponents, but in this 4v4 fighting game, you can't do that alone, and if your teammates are out here getting their asses beat, who's going to help you defeat the two players in front of you? If you're playing a game where the other team has a healer but you don't, depending on the rankings, you will always have the disadvantage. Whether it's combat-based, barrier, it doesn't matter. Healers are almost always needed in Shinobi Striker. They are called heal/support types for a reason. And with Mind Transfer Palm Sage, a jutsu that can be used to heal your teammates from anywhere within the map, and like I said before, it has a 15-second cooldown, which isn't that long. You can also use support jutsus to help you successfully use this jutsu, like Super Lightweight, which boosts everyone's ninjutsu cooldown speed. Or like I said earlier, Water Pillar to protect yourself. Even using perks like increasing how much added health your jutsus do, or ninjutsu cooldown speed increase so you can charge up the jutsu faster. There's just so many things you can do that help perform this jutsu at its best. And that was my list for the most effective jutsus as of patch 2.15 in Naruto Shinobi Striker. Please remember guys, this is completely opinion based. If you disagree and have your own list, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like and subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter in the description, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.